Good morning, everyone. This is Jedi Dawes with another episode of Courage is Rising. This one's going to be extremely short as I've got to get into work. But I just wanted to speak a little bit more about the Colin Kaepernick situation and encourage those, regardless of, regardless of what side of the fence you're on, to keep the conversation going, but particularly those who are standing with Sir Colin Kaepernick, Sir Colin the Courageous, as I called him in my earlier video, and will continue to do so for a variety of reasons, most off because of the courage that he has shown in such a climate as this to take a stand and to bring truth to the other side of the coin in regards to the current situation that we're in, the current systematic treatment of black folk at the hands of the justice system, and the imbalance of that. These days we talk so much in various situations about balance and how necessary it is. But when it comes to this and the pattern of policing in this country, there's been no balance, and that has really served to the detriment of many communities, but by far, I mean, leaps and bounds. It's not even a comparison. It has decimated the black community in a variety of different ways, and I got into that a decent amount in my very first video here on YouTube. Feel free, if you've got some time. It's a long one, I will admit. Go back and watch that, but it's a good one. So it is necessary for those who realize the merit of what Colin Kaepernick is doing to stand up, not for him. He's standing up for himself as a man and as a person, but to stand with him as people of conscience. And notice that I didn't say consciousness, which certainly nothing wrong with that. I'm, for myself, a person of consciousness, but people of conscience. You don't have to align with a checklist of folk who might identify with these other issues, but there's some basic things that I feel that we should be able to come together about, and a man's right to protest a song, first off, that has racist undertones and a racist reality to it. Check out that third verse, and that also has represented quite the exact opposite of freedom for a lot of black folk in this country. Again, the facts speak for themselves. In sports, you got a saying that the ball doesn't lie. Well, the facts surrounding mass incarceration, they don't lie. And if we are just honest about human behavior and the effects of isolation, of neglect, of discrimination, that's going to breed desperation in various communities. And as you've seen in various cultures, when there's even when there's not necessarily the pronounced amount of desperation, there can definitely be an increase in behaviors that reflect that level of desperation. So that's that. And the people who love to debate it, it's still being debated hotly. Roger Goodell came and made his point. Wasn't much of a strong one. It was really more of a dance, if you will. But I don't expect anything different from him, to be honest. But Colin Kaepernick, Shannon Sharpe. I want Shannon Sharpe to run for the president of Wakanda 2020. I'm calling it now. Those who are bringing basic facts to the table. it's important that we stand with and uplift those voices, not because we necessarily agree with them on everything that they might have to say about any kind of subject, but because they're putting themselves out on the line. Yes, we know they're millionaires. Yes, we know that they have earned an opportunity that a lot of other people will never have in their lifetime. That's not the point. And if anything, that's a greater point as to why we should stand with them and just demand solutions. I was about to say demand that Colin Kaepernick be back in the league, but I'm honestly not even sure that that's a viable solution now. I'm on the tip that the NFL needs Colin Kaepernick and others like him far more than Colin Kaepernick will ever need them. I might be alone on that ledge, but so be it. So I am consistently thinking about other solutions in which his talent can be fully utilized and realized. And if it's his desire to go back in the league, then I stand with that. But I feel that he's so much bigger than football, and that there's a variety of other avenues that he can go in now, and probably should consider going in. But it's so much deeper than football. It's so much bigger than Sir Colin the Courageous, Colin Kaepernick, because he's not the only one who's taking that knee. There are others that have done so and have paid a price on some kind of level for it. And so, again, with Dr. King, it was certainly not the only example of courage out there. We need to listen to the totality of what he said. And his biggest thing that to me that he said was not that I have a dream. His biggest thing was, America, all we ask is that you be true to what you said on paper. And what was said on paper in terms of freedom of speech was a provision, in my opinion, that people should not have to be forced to fall in line with everyone else's action, just because it's the thing that polite society does. Well, polite society has been responsible for a lot of not so polite things, particularly in the black community. So, not falling in formation, if you will, with that, or lockstep. In addition to when you have, on the other hand, countless examples of players, both black and white, doing things that are actual offenses, like agreed upon across the board, with there being little to no penalty for that, including I forget this coward's name, but someone who just got a tryout with the Eagles, and he called some black folk the N-word at a concert. That's sending a very clear message to all of us as supporters of the NFL. And with that said, I just can't continue my support at this time, but I can continue my courage, and I can have my courage continue to rise and continue to encourage others to do the same. So this is a brief episode of Courage is Rising with Jedi Dawes. Let's keep talking about solutions. Feel free to subscribe to my channel. This is my second video. This one was on the fly, no setting, no nothing. And actually, the first one was no setting or anything. Just picking up the camera, speaking my thoughts as they come, and I look forward to bringing more content to you all. Thanks for your time. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon.